Hi, hello. I'm Snappy ASMR. How you doing? Good. This video, as the title says, is gonna be about D&D. I'm just gonna be over-explaining, which means that I will be repeating myself and making sure that you totally understand what I'm talking about. That's what over-explaining means. But if you want me to explain it again, let me know. But I'll be over-explaining things, not necessarily about D&D, but about my experiences playing D&D. Which I love it. So let's get started by addressing the ears. A few videos back I made a vlog about going to the Renaissance Festival. With some of my friends, and I cosplayed as the character I play in my D&D group, and he's a furbolg, and his name is Lucan, and he's a furbolg, which means he's like a kind of like half cow, half man, kind of like a satyr, but really big. I'll talk about him more, but I wore these to go to the Renaissance Festival. And I also had a wig with it, but the wig has since knotted itself. It has since knotted itself up, so I was gonna maybe put it back on. Not worth it. As you guys just get the ears, just the ears. I got these off of Etsy, and they're gray. These ears are gray and floppy. They're supposed to be soft, but because they're made out of, I don't know, some sort of plastic, they're not soft. If I had more money and more craft skills, I probably would have made my own, but I did not have time. Do you play D&D? Let me know. I started playing like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. With some friends and coworkers. My DM actually runs three games consistently with like a bunch of like my friends. So we're all split up into three groups, which is crazy that he DMs them. But because he's doing three groups, we're all doing essentially the same story. So the same adventure. Just so it's easier for him to remember, because if you didn't know what a DM is, a dungeon master, they have to remember so many things. Not just plot, but also rules, character backstories, voices, lore, basic history about wherever they're playing, mysteries, combat, probably other things that I'm not thinking of. They control music, maps, the minis. They can make things, they have to pre-plan ahead. So yeah, that's why we're all playing the same adventure. But that's kind of fun, because if you also didn't know, D&D can go many different ways. It's pretty much unpredictable. So a lot of times after an adventure ends, we get together and we discuss how our three groups went differently, down different paths. And we all pretty much follow the same storyline. It'd be hard not to, but one of our groups rolls really well. And sometimes the other group, not so much. Or someone thought of something clever. So that's really fun to like discuss. But let me backtrack a little bit. If you don't know what D&D is, it's a role-playing game where hold that thought. I crocheted this. It's a dice bag and it looks like dragon scales. And this is actually all one yarn color, or like one yarn spool. Like I didn't have to switch colors. It just naturally kind of lined up. It's like each scale being a different color. It's very beautiful yarn. It even like it's very glittery. I love it. So yeah, most of my dice. I have like 7 or 8 pairs of dice or sets of dice are in this bag. I'm gonna get some out and show it to you. Yes, see, it's like a drawstring. And then I also have like a leather pouch in here to help keep them in, because if you can't tell, there's holes and the dice would fall through those holes because they're quite small and these holes are quite large. So that's why I keep them all in a leather bag. See you see the leather bag? Yes, just so it keeps it all in. It keeps it all in one spot. So D&D is a live action roleplay game, which means that there's a story and a DM or a GM, dungeon master or game master, depends on what they like it to be called. And you and perhaps 3 to 6 other people. That's like a good group size. You will all be playing characters, and each character has a class, which is what they are good at, what they're good at. For example, Lucan's my character. Do you remember? He's the one with the ears. He's a fighter. Fighters get overlooked all the time. Like, when there's ever like, what each class would be like ordering coffee videos. There's never a fighter. What the heck? Just because like, I'm good at weapons, handling weapons, specifically a bow and arrow. He's really good. He's basically Legolas. Yeah, people think that fighters are not that interesting. I disagree. Lae'zel's a fighter. From Baldur's Gate 3, Lae'zel, she's a fighter. So, yeah. I put all my dice in this bowl. So, I'm gonna rummage and I will pull out a dice and talk about it. Okay. So, here's your basic 6-sided die. You know. But you see, it has all the numbers on it. And this one in particular has moss inside with these gold. It's kind of more of like a bronze gold. And I got these ones because they felt like they would represent Lucan the most, because he's from the forest. He's actually quite sassy. When I was reading his backstory, I wasn't planning on playing him very sassy. I was planning on playing him very quiet, which he is, but he's more like socially awkward. And that's very fun to play. So yeah, when you're playing D&D, you role play. Some people are into that, others not. Some people take it really seriously. Like, they do voices, they get emotional. No one in my group really does that, but like the professionals, they do. They 100% do. I'll get into that later. This is a 20-sided die. This is a D20 important die in the game. This guy. This one's very blue. It's very simple, but it has like these very faint blue, or like dark blue streaks, if you can see. So often your DM will ask you to roll one of these. A 20 is the best. A natural 20 is the best. Natural meaning you just rolled a 20 and you can add things to it based on how good you are at different tasks. But if you get a natural 20, it's usually an automatic success at whatever you're trying to do. A natural 1, on the other hand, is a failure. So whatever you're trying to do, you fail at. So a lot of the story is determined by this thing. And so that's what makes it so exciting, because you can make a very clever plan. You can be really good at something, and it still can go very, very, very wrong. Or great. You could take a risk, and it ends up playing out just because this rolled a good number. There's different skills you can have. You can be good at persuasion. Like persuading another character to do what you want. You could be good at sleight of hand, which means like stealing or picking a lock. You could be very athletic or dexterous, which means that you are more likely to dodge things or leap over things. Does that make sense? Let me know if I needed to explain something further. But basically, you have a character sheet. I'll show you an example of one in a bit. You have a character sheet, and it tells you all the things you're good at. Your armor class, which is how hard is it to hit you. If you are being attacked, how hard is it to hit you? You also have a list of your inventory, your weapons, your spells, if you are a magic casting character. And what else does it have? Other things like walking speed, your health, etc. I picked another, what is this? A D20. Good. I got these. They're pink, purpley, kind of like some smoke inside. I got these ones for my Baldur's Gate character that I played in my first playthrough. Her name was Vicodia, and she was a sorcerer, which meant that she could use magic, but not necessarily from studying it like a wizard perhaps, but it came from within, from like a magical bloodline or something like that. And she was very powerful. I think she was kind of broken, which meant that she might have been a little overpowered, which meant she was really, really good. Because not only was she good at magic like casting, fireball. She was also really good at weapons, because I took a feat, which is something you might get when you level up. And so I wanted her to be good at two-handed weapons. So she also had a great sword, and she was just this tall woman with pink hair, hence the pink. She just looked really, really awesome. Every time it cut to her, if you didn't know, every single interaction in Baldur's Gate is a cutscene of sorts. It's voice acted. You get to see your character react to things. So that was like such an enjoyable part of the game for me, because I felt like I was really that character. Like that character was very immersed in the world just because I got to see their face. So yeah, that was my Baldur's Gate character, which is is a video game. This is a D12. It has 12 sides. And honestly, this little guy doesn't get a lot of action. I think you might use it if you have a certain weapon, but I'm not totally sure what that would be. I never use this one, ever. A little bit about Lucan. He's a fighter, as I said. He's a furbolg, as I said. And he's really good with a bow and arrow. He's very good at archery. He has had a long life where he's been taken from place to place. And his main plot point in his backstory is this half-orc girl that he lived with and traveled with for a long time, but she ended up getting captured by a mysterious witch, sort of, and she is being held frozen until Lucan can find something for the witch and bring it back to the witch for the release of his, let's just say, his girlfriend. But that is probably not going to happen for a while because I said my DM is running 3 games. So while he sprinkles in things about our backstories, he sprinkles in things every now and then. He can't write whole adventures around our backstories because then it would differ from group to group. So we get little tidbits here and there, which actually makes it very exciting whenever you do get a little snippet. For example, our last adventure ended and we got a book, or a journal that actually mentioned the name of the witch who captured Lucan's girlfriend. And so I was very excited. And I went to a library and tried to do some research. But I don't think that's where I'm going to get my answers. I don't. So I'm just going to have to keep my eye out for more clues. Yes, but as I said, Lucan is very sassy. He's wise, but he's not very smart, which are 2 different things. 2 different skills. And he's also a rune knight, which is his subclass in D&D. You get a subclass, which is it makes each class more unique because there's things that you can get that might make you different from one fighter to the next. So he's a rune knight, which means he can read runes, and then he can imbue why can't I not say that word? Imbue powers into something like his bow, which occasionally, maybe once or twice a day, give him an extra power. And when I was cosplaying him at the Renaissance Festival, I made this scroll. Ta-da! So these are a bunch of giant runes. I painted, this is like a cheesecloth, I think. I painted on these runes and attached it to these rods that I painted brown. Oh shoot, this one's getting a little scratched. It's okay. I'm very, very proud of it because it was so hard painting on cloth. That was not easy. But yeah, because he can read runes. I gave him some runes to read, but he can only really read 2. Or I like to think of it as that he can read them, but he doesn't really understand them. So he doesn't know how to use their magic yet. But he can do 2. And he can also make himself big. He's already 7 feet tall, but he has a spell that turn him twice that size. So most of the time in combat, I'm huge. Which is really fun because then I get to break out the big mini. Usually our minis are like this big, and then the big mini is like this big, and he's so cool. So cool, so cool, so cool. That's the main campaign that I'm in. But all of us, pretty much all of us in those 3 groups, we got together recently and we did a one-shot. And this one-shot took place in the future. It was very dystopian. Usually D&D, well, I don't know about usually, but I would say most of the time it takes place in like a fantasy, high fantasy setting. This one was in the future. And my character for that was a human named Bailey. And she was a bard who was a DJ. So a bard is someone who gets magic to inspire others, to buff others, which makes their skill checks or their powers even better. They're very much a supporting role, but they also get a lot of fun, destructive things as well. Let me show you. Her DJ name was DJ Wallfly. And my DM made us these sheets. So that's a picture of the mini that I designed right there. She looks so sick. So this is her name, and you see all these skills that she has. So for example, she was incredibly good at persuasion. She had a +10, which means that even if she rolled a 1, she could get an 11, which still isn't fantastic, but it's better than a 1. But she was not good at athletics. Didn't really matter. It never came into play. So this was extremely fun to play this character. She was very strong and had a lot of fun spells, like defenestration. Defenestration is when she could blast someone through a phantasmal window. Like a window would appear and I could blast someone through. Blast, and then they would take damage from being thrown through a window that wasn't actually there. Super cool. I also really liked having hypnotic pattern. That was a huge deal that came into play in the second part of the game. I took out 4 different enemies at the same time with that spell. It was so cool. It like saved us an hour of playtime at least, which not always a great thing, but we played for like 8 hours that day. Yeah, D&D games go on for a long time. So yeah, this is my one-shot character, which means I only got to play her 1 time. But maybe we'll bring her back if we do it in the future. We'll see. But then I got to keep her mini. You see her? This is her in her DJ outfit. She's got these wings, and these eyes. I designed to make it look like a bug. Yeah, I designed her in Hero Forge. I'm obsessed with Hero Forge. I like mess around on it all the time. But yeah, she looks really cool. She's got some magic coming out of her hand right there. My DM's wife actually painted this and the rest of the minis. It's very impressive and also very sweet of her. But I also got her mini when she's not DJ Wallfly. I have to paint her still. I've been putting that off. But she's actually a waitress, so I made her like have this sci-fi outfit. She's bald, she's got a lot of piercings, a lot of harnesses. She's carrying these like smoking pancakes. But behind her back, she's holding a little gem, which was her way of recording people. Like people who like ran crime organizations. So she was big into like cracking. She was like solving cases by recording people with that little device. And that actually came into play in the story, which was awesome. She remixed the sound of someone getting into a song and like revealed to everyone there like that a murder had occurred. Just that was so much fun. I loved it. So that was DJ Wallfly. And here I have the dice I bought to play DJ Wallfly. I think these are my favorite. Look. Aren't they great? They're like purple and they have a liquid core, which means the inside you really can't tell, but it like moves. There's like glitter inside and it moves when you turn it around. And then there's these gold flecks. I just thought this suited my character, DJ Wallfly. This is a coaster that my friend got me for Christmas. And this is the symbol for the fighter class. So it's a coaster because when you're playing D&D, you've got drinks, you've got snacks. So you can put your drink on here so you don't ruin the table. And you can also put your dice down here. So they're ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. There's, how many people are in my group? Not including me. 6 other people. We have a halfling ranger, a elf druid classic, a dwarf barbarian, a half-elf rogue, a drow warlock, and a turtle cleric. It's a really, really fun group, and we've been getting into it a lot more recently. I think everyone's confidence has been increasing with like role playing and stuff. The other game I've played was this campaign, and it's a starter set because it was my first time being a DM, and I did it with my family. Some of them are dorky, not maybe to my level. Others not so much. But that being said, they all really enjoyed playing. We played over Zoom. But I had a great time DMing them and getting them into the game, and they surprised me a lot with like the amount of like sincerity they had towards playing, but also like, you know, goofiness definitely happened. You get like an instruction book for the game, and it has characters and things you might be facing. Combat. So this one was pretty like well fleshed out already. I really didn't have to do anything. See, there's like these maps. So this was very, very, very fun. And it made me want to DM a more like long-term game, and hopefully one where I actually get to write the story. This was definitely amazing for first time. And over Christmas, I designed and printed their minis because we played online. They didn't get minis, but over Christmas, I surprised them with their minis, and they were in shock. It was really sweet, like how excited they were about their having their characters. The last thing I want to show you is this Heroes Feast. It's the official D&D cookbook. Look at them, they're all sitting around eating a pig. She's ready to cut into it. I got this at a White Elephant, which is when you pick a random gift. But because I'm vegetarian and fantasy food is very meat heavy, there's not a lot of recipes in here that I can make without having to, veganize them myself. That being said, I have bookmarked a few recipes I'd love to try. First up, we got this Traveler's Stew. Looks really tasty. Yeah, see, it's got stew meat inside. I would have to maybe put mushrooms instead or something. We've also got this tavern steak. Again, I need to figure out a way to make this without the actual meat part. Heartland's rose apple and blackberry pie. This looks amazing. I've never made a pie that looks this good. But I should give it a go. I'm glad I got this out because I kind of forgot that I had it. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed me talking nonstop about D&D. I don't even think I did a good job explaining it. Maybe I did. Oh, I meant to talk about Critical Role. I'm watching Critical Role Campaign 2. They've done 3 main campaigns. I'm watching the second one. I haven't seen the first because I watched the animated TV show, and I know that's not the same thing at all, but I don't have time to watch all of it. So I was like, alright, I get a lot of the gist and the characters from the TV show, I think, but I want to watch all of campaign 2 because it's so long. My partner said to me the other day that it was longer than One Piece, which seemed crazy to me because One Piece is like infamously long. But yeah, it's really, 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 really long. But I'm like almost halfway through. Almost halfway. I've been watching it for a long time, but it's still like really, really absurdly dense. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I think my favorite character is Jester. I think she's everybody's favorite. But I also love Not. I love Not. Sam Riegel's just the freaking best. I love all of them. Ford's really been growing on me. I don't know. If you're into D&D and you're into Critical Role, let me know. No spoilers, please. Please, please. Thank you. just wanted to get through a lot of it because they're also making an animated show for the second campaign. And I want to watch it, but I don't want to be spoiled as anything, so. This feels crazy, by the way. Anyways. Oh my god, Anti-Virgins. There's like these mini-series. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into this. But if you watch Divergence, I cried. People don't really understand why I cry at like Critical Role or D&D period.